Señoras y señores, 7 years of pizza pans, and only now Spain's second most iconic preparation, Tortilla de Patatas, the Spanish Potato Omelette. Well, mejor tarde que nunca. Better late than never.
This area of Aragón called Monegros is referred to as a desert. It's certainly arid in parts, but nothing unusual for the Spanish interior, which seems to be catching up. Like many rural areas, Monegros has experienced depopulation as younger generations move to urban areas for better opportunities. This village, Valfarta, still holds on to 36 males and 26 females, and I'll be doing my bit to revitalise the region by promoting its wonderful gastronomic legacy and old world charm. Nothing particularly Aragonese about the tortilla, though, a national classic whose origins are unclear.
As every Spaniard knows, there's only one infallible recipe for the perfect tortilla de patatas, your own.
It's hard to give numbers of potatoes and eggs. Sizes obviously vary a great deal, but let's say roughly speaking 4 eggs, 2 medium potatoes and half an onion. The local ladies suggest using regular olive oil, not the expensive extra virgin oil, which is used uncooked in salads, on bread and the like. Sí, señoras. Now, strictly speaking, the classic tortilla is just made from potatoes and eggs. The addition of onions is an optional extra and not to everyone's taste, but nonetheless popular, flavorful, and in my opinion, an improvement. So if you use onion, it's always best to clarify. Tortilla con cebolla. Potato omelette with onion. And for us mavericks who dare to add a touch of garlic, it's essential to note this flavorful deviation from the standard recipe. First things first, though, today's tortilla is joined by lovely roasted peppers and garlic, pimientos asados al ajillo. These pickled guindillas, hot peppers, are also a common accompaniment, but you're welcome to them as they're not really my thing. So a light coating of olive oil and a good blast in a very hot oven. 30 minutes should do. Peel once cool enough to handle. Cut into strips. A chopped clove of garlic is started off in a generous amount of olive oil, and after a minute, once fragrant and just starting to turn golden, the pepper slices are added and stirred over a gentle heat for a few minutes. Done. The ideal way of cutting the potatoes is to break off little chunks like so. This is called chascar in Spanish, to crack or to snap, and gives the pieces an uneven, rustic look. Often helpful in stews as more thickening starch is released, but for the tortilla, not entirely necessary and perfectly okay to slice in the usual manner, like so, about 5 millimeters, 1/4 inch thick. The onions are chopped like so, mixed with the potatoes and seasoned generously with salt. This way the salt really starts to permeate the potatoes and after a couple of minutes draws out the moisture, which must be poured off to avoid a tremendous amount of splattering in the pan. Next, a good amount of olive oil is heated over medium heat. The potatoes and onions are initially deep fried rather than sautéed. Once the oil is hot, a chunk of potato will froth when the oil's ready. Add the potato and onion mixture. Stir occasionally to ensure even cooking and adjust the heat as necessary to avoid overly browning. The goal is to soften the potatoes and onions without them getting too much colour, though a little's fine, which usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Since there's so much rosemary growing around here, with just a couple of minutes to go, a small sprig goes in, entirely optional and really a personal touch. A clove of garlic, as mentioned before, is also optional. While the potatoes and onions are cooking, break the eggs into a large bowl. Once the potatoes and onions are done, drain them and combine with the whole eggs, stirring gently to combine, enough to break up the eggs like so. Check for salt. A little more is usually required after the addition of the eggs. And a few turns of pepper. As far as the pan is concerned, this one's a reliable seasoned carbon steel affair that I know nothing will stick to. If not in possession of a seasoned pan, use a non-stick pan. Another way to ensure the omelette releases is to use plenty of oil at this stage. A good amount of the same olive oil used for frying the potatoes, enough to easily cover the bottom of the pan. So in with the mixture, minus the rosemary and the garlic. For the first few seconds, stir or toss so the entire egg starts to cook evenly. Then let it settle, tidy it up by rounding off the edges. Now over this high heat, it won't take very long at all. Basically, when the underside is golden brown, it's time to flip using a plate like so. Another 30 seconds to tidy up and to set the other side. Y listo. Ready. The nearby chapel of San Miguel provides a perfect picnic spot. The tortilla can be served hot or at room temperature, always with a drop of the local stuff. And these pimientos al ajillo are just perfect. So remember, life's too short for bad food, and if you've enjoyed this recipe, subscribe to Pete's Pans on YouTube for more culinary adventures. And stay tuned as we bring the Pyrenees Cookbook to life with ever more authentic local dishes. Happy cooking, hasta luego.